Job done. That is 10 wins from 12 Premier League games under Arne slot. 2 more goals for Mo Salah, and as Jim was saying, 8 points clear of Manchester City, who of course they play next Sunday. We'll be on the road for you at Anfield with Matchday Live for that. But look at that, by the end of next weekend, Liverpool could be 11 clear of the reigning champions. Southampton still prop up the table, still on 4 points. And still now, after Wolves' win yesterday, as you can see, 5 points from safety. Well, Arne Slot there, Macca, walking across the pitch. He's got the win.
Yep.
He had to come from behind. It wasn't vintage Liverpool at times.
No, I thought they were only OK today. I thought they were average. They were better when the 2 substitutions were made, but that's when they were losing 2-1. Great result, but their performance as a whole, I think he'll be displeased with it, to be honest. It's a typical away performance after the international break, but the most important thing for Liverpool fans is the table. They got the result, and it's Mo Salah to the rescue yet again.
Yeah, because they were given a fright at 2-1 with Matheus Fernandez's first Premier League goal.
Yeah, it was, and you almost thought, oh, here we go. And it just doesn't happen. And then this goal here, I mean, we've seen it here, the goals. It's such a nice goal, but Lewis Dibley, I mean, he's been fantastic all season for Southampton, only 18 years old, but he just runs and runs and runs. But it's the quality and the vision to see the run from Armstrong. I mean, it's just the touch, he gets his body in the wrong position, but again, they flood the men forward, and that's probably the first time, you'd have to say, they had so many men forward. And they took it really, really well.
Yeah. And in keeping with Southampton's play, Teddy, a bizarre equaliser.
Yep. I mean, it's a gift again. Salah's trying to bring this down. Keeper's coming out of his goal. I don't know whether the wind has played a part in it. Very windy today. It just looks awful, doesn't it? I don't know where he's going, the goalkeeper. You know, just stay on your line, let your defenders deal with it. Who knows what's going to happen? It's a gift, absolute gift.
I mean, when you think of it today, there wasn't huge amounts of nice play. Everything was a mistake, wasn't it? And it's great for the paying public to watch. But again, is it handball? Yes, it's clear as day. It's a handball and it's a penalty, and Salah converts. But for the managers, for the staff, you can go through every single goal and hopefully improve, and that's all Russell Martin. It's small margins for Russell Martin. That's all he can think about, because Liverpool eventually get the result. They know where they've gone wrong, and Liverpool will be better. But on the opposite ends of the table, of the scale, you've got Southampton continuing to struggle and cause their own problems and cause their own downfall.
Yep, Southampton stay bottom. Liverpool 8 points clear at the top.
Next one, anyone? Arne must be over the moon with that.
Over the moon is a bit exaggerated, but of course we're really happy, especially because after an hour we were 2-1 down. Maybe that wasn't a reflection of how the first hour went, because I think we dominated the whole game, which is not that easy. Maybe you think, he played a number 20, this is what we expect, but I've seen many games of Southampton that they were dominating the game. But in the end, if you're 2-1 down after an hour, you are maybe over the moon if you win it with 3-2.
Any more? What about Mo? I mean, obviously he's a big player, big moments, and then again.
Yeah, we always know we can trust on him if things are difficult for us. Because after we went 2-1 down, I didn't really felt that was the moment we should score, and then out of a fantastic pass from Ryan Gravenberch though, but timing of the run and the way Mo finished it was special, and that I think that helped us really back into the game. Of course, it's normal if you score a 2-2, it helps you back in the game, but we needed that goal maybe to play the last 25 minutes that we played, because for me then it was a matter of time before we scored a goal. In the first hour we dominated possession without really creating that much. In the last half hour we were dominating, or last 25 minutes we were dominating with creating some chances.
Southampton started poor on at you for the first time, and obviously he has a big presence, and a few other changes, Flynn Downs coming into defence. Did that surprise you, and did you have to adapt to their changes?
No, I think what I do as a manager is I want to know their style of play, and sometimes it makes a bit of a difference if a number 9 is high and tall or fast or slow, or so it makes a bit of a difference. But I don't think they've changed their playing style, not in the way they lined up 5-4-1, and also not in the way they like to play, because the first goal we scored was from them trying to bring the ball out from the back, which didn't happen a lot for them today, and that did happen a lot in other games, because I showed the players yesterday how many times Southampton can play through a press. But today I think that part of our game was quite good, that we were really aggressive without the ball.
Was that hard work when you wanted it to be ahead of the visit of Real Madrid? It's very hard for English teams to do well in Europe because there's no team in the Premier League that doesn't cause big problems.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a difference. I agree with you that this league asks a lot from every player every weekend, and if you then play in Europe, that's not always easy. Only a few teams in England have shown that they can do this. Liverpool has shown it in the past for many seasons. Last 2 years that has been more difficult. But yeah, that's also why teams in England have such a big squad, because we top clubs have quite a lot of money. We can also make a bigger squad than maybe some other teams in other countries. So, and that's also what we need. You saw it today again. The three players that came in really had an impact on the game, and that is also what we need in this league.
Arne, 8 points clear, and only twice in Premier League history has a club that's won 10 of its first 12 games not gone on to win the title. What do you do to temper the expectation that it's now a cakewalk for you? Because I know it's early days, but it's a very healthy advantage after only 12 games.
No, definitely, but we also know what we have to put into it to get this lead that we have at the moment and to get these wins. So, and I only have to show in the players' field that I think there were maybe 1 or 2 games for us that were wins by a big margin, but the rest of them were all by small margins. So we know how difficult it is to win a game, and these players have been longer in the Premier League than I've been, but I think it was last season, even later on in the season, that Arsenal led by 8 points and City came back. So you know, if you face Arsenal, City, Chelsea and all these other teams, that Tottenham was great yesterday as well. They're all able to win so many games in a row. So it's nice to have this position, but we are definitely not get carried away.
You've been very complimentary about Southampton. I was just wondering if you've spoken to the manager, Russell Martin, at all today.
Not more than I speak to every other manager. So you shake hands before the game, after the game, and what was a bit unlucky for them, I think, is normally they play, in my opinion, even much better, and they create much more chances and hardly score. Today they only created 2 chances, which the first one wasn't even a chance, and scored 2. They maybe could have did this the opposite way, then they would have had more points. Because in other games they played through the press of other teams so many times, but then they were not effective enough. Is that effective, the word used? But today they were really effective, because I think they arrived 2 times, with the first one not even being a chance maybe, and the second one from our set piece. So if they can combine these 2 things, so the style of play they have for all the other games, combined with the effectiveness they had today, then I'm sure they will bring in a lot of points in the future.
Can we just check, do you have any complaints about the penalty that was given for you? And certainly none about the one that was given for you, but the one that was given against you in the first half, it looked very, very tight.
Yeah,
what was your view on it?
Now, in general, sometimes you can also have a bit of, could have made a different decision or not, but for me, with the offside and deciding if a ball is inside or outside, that is just black or white. So, and it was a foul, that was clear. So if they saw that it was inside, then it's a penalty. So sometimes with a knock, yes or no, or a red card, yes or no. There was also an incident in the first half where you could argue if that's a red card, yes or no. Those things you can argue, but offside and inside or out the 18-yard box is something you cannot argue. But it was a small margin, like the whole season of us.
Thank you, Arne. Thank you very much.
After you can start us off when everyone's ready then.
Hi Russell, I know it's your own team's mistakes again, but you've done almost everything but get points again.
Yeah, I think that's my overriding feeling at the minute is the frustration, disappointment of the goals we concede. It's just so poor. We're playing against a team with such quality, and if they produce a moment of magic or score a brilliant team goal, you can maybe accept it a little bit more, but the quality of the goals we conceded is so bad. Yeah, because I felt so much that I enjoyed the performance. We looked a threat, much better than we did at Wolves in terms of the final third and the attacking threat that we had, defending really well, big numbers, a lot of the time playing against the best team in the league, as much as we could, and forward as much as we could, and then it's the wrong time to do that because Liverpool have so many players in our final third, they've spent a while there, so then we need to take the sting out of the game and manage that. So, but that's on me. So I've asked them to do that, and I need to make it even clearer when and where to do that. The first goal, and then just panic sets in, miss-hit a clearance, and probably should go off the pitch at that point. Yeah, and the second goal, it's the thing we spoke about a lot, about protecting the space with Salah, and the lads did really well on the whole. And obviously Al hasn't played a lot of games at the moment, but I thought he made some really good saves as well, did some really good stuff. And then the third one, Yuki, bless him, I don't think he moves his arm towards the ball, but his arm's in a position where it hits his body and hits it. So it is like, yeah, we can talk all day about the goals. We had some really good moments. And most of our good moments come from playing and taking the ball and having courage to play through and do it. And the lads just have to keep on going.
My first thought when that third goal went in was just how difficult it's going to be for you and for the players and the guys who made mistakes to keep going when you perform the way you do, but it sort of keeps happening.
Yeah. We have such a young team on the pitch, on the whole. We have a team that's growing and learning. And the only way they are going to learn is having moments like that and trying to get through it and understand why they make the decision they make. As I said, I asked them to play quick, so I take responsibility for that. Yeah, the rest is like just isolated moments, aren't they? We should make more of some of the stuff that we have. But there's not like a lack of competing, a lack of fight, a lack of desire, willingness to run for each other. I think the players that were here in the Premier League the last time feel very differently about this, the feeling of this, and they really, even in there, after the game against we played Man City away, Arsenal away, Liverpool at home, the guys feel they're so close, and we have to eradicate their moments to give ourselves any chance.
Missing Darren Bent, there are a lot of things you could have done with your team. You ended up bringing Flynn back, Brian Fraser on the left. Talk me through why you did that and how you went about it.
Flynn's played there for us at Swansea a bit. He ends up building up there a lot as well, and he has real pace to defend the transition. So against Salah, when there was going to be space behind, and Gakpo on the other side, so I thought he actually did quite well on the whole. He mishits one clearance and it gets punished in the Premier League, so I'm sure that will get looked at, that decision, but I actually thought he played really, really well, and he stepped forward with the ball a few times and reads the game really well. And also it's about relationships. We spoke about this a lot. Him and Taylor and Jack have played together a lot, and usually he's in front of them, but they played together a lot. Wee Man gives us an attacking threat. We swapped sides. I think it helped us. And Carl went on the left and he went on the right, and they give us that flexibility. Yuki's been away on international duty, travelled a lot, and only came back and trained one day with us. So we worked on a different shape. So then to chuck him in and do that after one day's training would have been a bit unfair on him, I think. So we tried to have as many attacking players on the pitch as we could.
So it's gone under the radar, but you probably should have had a penalty maybe.
We should have 100%. We should have had a penalty of Adam Armstrong. I think, I don't know, I'm sure I think it's pointless having another chat. I really like Howard Webb, and I don't know what they will say. So it's gone to VAR for a check. And I think if the goalkeeper comes out, and it's at 2-1 at that point, Adam Armstrong is trying to play the ball, the goalie comes out and misses the ball and then affects Armour's run, so makes contact with Adam. So I think at that point it's a foul, regardless of what defenders are around, because he makes contact and misses the ball. But my definition of the laws of football, I think that's a foul. It gets given as a handball against Armour after the contact, the foul. Bradley's pulling Armour, Armour's pulling him a bit, so that's like 6-1, half dozen the other, but the ball Kelleher misses the ball. It's the other side of him when he makes contact with Adam Armstrong's legs. So my understanding of the game is a penalty.
He's having a shirt pulled as well at the same time. A positive ball and actually came to the team.
He was great, yeah. He's probably deserved to start before now, the way he's trained. He's been so good. And he was really good. So I hope his injury is nothing too serious and it's just a bit of fatigue, but I thought he played really, really well.
And Arne, is he okay?
I think his will be a bit worse than Paul's, but so we'll have to assess that. He's a bit worried about it. So yeah, it was to lose Yanni and Aaron and then Paul and Adam as well on the pitch is frustrating.
The task you've got now, if you want to survive, is to break records. No team's ever lost 10 of the first 12. Say that, but can you do that?
Yeah, the team broke all sorts of records last year, so we're going to have to do it again.
Jack, you've spoken after games against Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool about how impressed you were with the performance, and putting in big performances. Are you worried that the team can't replicate that against teams that are further down the table? Is that a mentality thing, or is it the way the other teams play?
No, I think we have to. There's no, like, the game's different. Sometimes when we play against other teams, we're trying to attack a low block like we did at Wolves, and there's lots of bodies to defend. And every game in the Premier League looks different because the opposition you're facing tactically looks different. So yeah, we have another one to prepare for on Friday now, which is really exciting for us, away from home. And the players just have to, honestly, they have to keep giving us what they're giving us. We're so close, we're so competitive, and the season has been defined on moments that have been really critical and big, and we could be in such a different position. I think that's the frustration everyone feels. But we have no choice but to keep working, stick together. We knew the season was going to be tough at the start. It's not like a surprise to anyone that we're fighting at the moment. But I think it feels worse because some of the goals we've conceded and the timing of some of them as well. But yeah, the objective hasn't changed, and the players' willingness to work and run hasn't changed. So as long as they stick with that, they'll be fine.
Have you got any concerns about their confidence to keep doing what they're doing?
I think they've shown moments of real confidence today against the best team in the league. So my job to try and keep them in that place, to keep believing what they're doing, to keep playing with courage and feeling, and not let fear overtake them is my job with them. So, and because we have such a young team, some really outstanding young players that are going to play in this league and beyond for a very long time if they get it right and they stay in the right environment. So yeah, it's an exciting challenge for us.
I feel like I asked you about another game, and perhaps you just alluded to them there, but Tyler and Matty again today, so much quality for such young lads in big moments in the game as well. They're really talented.
I think they have to play in a certain team in a certain way right now at their age to flourish and to show what they can do. If you put them in a different team that are fighting down the bottom, maybe they look very different, or they're maybe not playing because their skill set is not suited to that. Their skill set is taking the ball and being brave and taking it in tight areas and beating their player, and they're getting better and better all the time. So we have to just keep giving them time, keep working. They have amazing mentality, both of them, attitude, and eventually at some point they will keep growing with us, or they'll outgrow the club, and the club will benefit hugely from that.
Martin, just on that, you took responsibility
Russell.
there. Sorry, Russell, yeah, sorry. You took responsibility there for the mistakes that the team was making, but how do you mitigate? I mean, it looked like for the first goal, he's not looking when he passes that ball and his head's down, and how do you mitigate?
But it's obviously not made it clear enough that if we've had a moment defending the final third for that long that we shouldn't. So I've asked them to play quick. So I'll just have to clarify even further and give them even more